Matt Corral was considered QB1 in the 2022 NFL Draft until an injury in the Sugar Bowl, which kind of sent him all the way to the third round, in which he was drafted by the Carolina Panthers, a team in quarterback hell with nowhere to go. They had 3 different starting quarterbacks last year, and still retained Sam Darnold's contract, in which he's owed just under $19 million this season. With the future uncertain under center, the Panthers took advantage of Corral's fall, and while he has the character traits anyone would want in a franchise quarterback, does he have what it takes to earn that title on the field? Let's get into it. What's up, guys? I'm Tyler Coker, and I'm your host for today's episode of Today with Tyler. I hope you enjoy. First, let's look at what made him QB1. The first thing you notice in any pass set is his remarkably quick release. His arm doesn't suffer from that quickness either. He still has an elite arm. His arm power is combined with a great deal of accuracy on all levels of the field. He can weave throws into tight windows and can take advantage of the leverage that he sees over defenders. Corral also manipulates defenders in the lower levels of the field, freezing second and third level defenders with linebackers and safeties to open those tight windows that he's able to read very well. He uses his eyes to read these defenses as they develop, and was occasionally allowed to progress through reads all the way to the flat at his time as Ole Miss. He continues to understand how plays develop, even when he's under pressure, and even though his grade drops dramatically according to PFF, he still showed the traits I would like to see from a franchise quarterback. He uses his arm well and has the confidence to throw the ball, like when he took the first chance he could to go deep against Alabama, although it was incomplete due to some pretty bad play design by Ole Miss. Not only does he have the arm strength to hit these deep shots, but he understands the leverage of his receiver even after evading a sack, even though his receiver can't really reel it in. He can use his eyes to manipulate zone defenders as well, to better take advantage of deep routes, freezing safeties to test one-on-one matchups. Not only can he manipulate zone defenders, but he can manipulate man coverage due to his accuracy, combined with his understanding of the man coverage principles. His executional traits in the pocket are complemented by a nice mobility. And while he won't be considered a dual threat or anything like that, he still offers the versatility of a player sort of along the lines of Zach Wilson or a prime Carson Wentz, and can work some magic to get out of sacks with some subtle movements. As seen aplenty at Ole Miss, he can be used in the RPO game as a viable option, which opens a playbook for the Panthers quite a bit. As we've seen in many of the top QBs in this class, his eyes don't drop when he escapes the pocket either, and Corral is the best in the pass when he's passing under duress and managing that pressure. And as I said before, he has everything else a coach would want in a franchise quarterback, boasting the humble confidence and competitiveness teams love, as well as the team character. Unfortunately, Matt Corral isn't perfect, so let's look at the tape that helped his draft stock tank, including his injury. The first knock on Matt Corral is his size, since he's only 6'2", 212, which isn't short for a quarterback. It's actually pretty good, but it's rather thin for a professional quarterback, and that gets him thrown around and can get him injured. The other major issues with Corral as a prospect stem from his college offense. He ran 60.4% of his dropbacks out of play action, which was an insanely high percentage, even for college. His offense limited his chances to show important traits such as anticipation, since it ran many timing routes and RPOs instead of letting him progress through reads. These timing routes took advantage of Corral's accuracy and quickness, but the limited projectability a pro-style offense would have for him was really knocking him because it was present for other quarterbacks in this class, but Corral just didn't have that same amount of snaps that teams could look at and see, this is exactly what we're getting from this player. And that is really the big reason why his draft talk stank. Matt Corral isn't perfect, and more than likely he's going to need time to develop. But what I see for him is a very bright future. To me, his ceiling is something of a Drew Brees type of quarterback. Well, he isn't Drew Brees, and I would never say he is. Obviously, that would be ridiculous. He has the talents to be a similar player in a similar offense. He's very smart, accurate with a good arm and a very quick release, can read the defense, and is willing to be a fearless leader for his team and even run around a little bit. The Panthers, in my opinion, are built for it too. They have Christian McCaffrey, one of the most well-known yard-after-catch guys in the entire NFL, DJ Moore, an underrated receiver and really good after the reception. Terrace Marshall Jr., who works as a fast X guy for the offense. Tommy Tremble to fill a tight end role similar maybe to Jimmy Graham, and though he isn't even close to prime Jimmy Graham, obviously he could try to fill that role. And Rashard Higgins, the deep threat from Cleveland. These players would work very well to suit Corral, and he can even manage with the Panthers' offensive line if they have growing pains this year, since he's kind of already used to having a pretty bad O-line at Ole Miss. I have a lot of hope for him. I really like him as a quarterback, and for a hot minute, really, I wanted Washington to take him in the first round, and for those of you who are new, I'm a Washington fan. Unfortunately, we didn't get him, but I left his tape feeling really satisfied by him. And everything I saw just made me realize, yeah, he is a good quarterback, and while he does have his drawbacks, I think overall he's going to be very good. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy, and next week let's get into Arizona since that's where I am filming this. Thank you.